How's it going? I'm the Big Guy and welcome to...
I've got nothing to point to be honest.
a movie review, I guess.
Oh! Now I just want to try something a little bit different, you know? Like a little movie review, because I went to see Silent Hill 2 last night, Silent Hill 2. I went to see the movie Return to Silent Hill based on Silent Hill 2, is what I was meant to say. And it was actually, straight to the point, it was alright. The only thing I can say about it is if you go and see that movie without seeing any of the game, it would make practically no sense to you. The movie was just full of scenes of nostalgia scenes. Every scene seemed to be, oh, I recognise that, I recognise that, I recognise that, but it didn't really tell a story as such. It was just more nostalgia stuff. So if you've seen the games and you understand the game, it'll be okay for you. It's the nostalgia feeling. I keep saying nostalgia feeling.
Got to think of my throat.
Marion frame properly. Okay, so what was I saying? I watched the movie. This isn't going to be a professional bloody movie review. This is just a dick with a camera making noise that comes out of this fucking thing. See my shelves? Okay. The Resident Evil keys. Resident Evil keys. Pretty cool. Anywho, back to the review. Yeah, it was full of nostalgia scenes. James, the protagonist, looks completely different to what he does in the games, which doesn't really bother me that much, as long as they do the character well. I know a load of people complain about, oh well, that character is white in the movie, now they've made him black. I don't care, as long as they make that character good. This is going to be full of spoilers for people who haven't played the game, and people who have actually played the game is actually going to get spoilers, because there is different parts of the story that isn't in the game, or they've changed things. They still kept the kind of the same premise, but changed part of the premise. Does that make sense? Don't know why I'm looking at my dog for bloody acknowledgement. To make sense about a movie, you don't even understand what I'm saying. So let's get into it. Spoilers. So if you don't want to know, do whatever you want. So it starts off with James in a car, and he's driving along, goes along like the mountain roads, and then he nearly crashes into a lorry. Or a truck, depends how you want to say it, like an 18-wheeler truck, like a lorry. In the UK it's a lorry, in America it's a 18-wheeler truck type thing, right? He swerves out the way of that, and as he swerves, he's next to a very familiar building, and he hits some luggage. And the luggage belongs to Mary, who turns out to be his wife later on. This is their just first meeting. So the toilets that you see them at in the game is where they met the first time. I'm assuming that's what they meant in the game as well, because it goes back to the place where she's from, I guess. So that's what it is, basically is. She's from Silent Hill. The reason that she's got luggage, she wants to leave Silent Hill and go to the next town over, but as he knocks over her luggage, it all falls out. Her bus comes, which is basically, the bus was stopping anyways, and she's going, stop! It's going to stop anyway, so I don't know why he got in front of it. He goes to try and load it up, he's saying sorry and all that, and carries it towards the bus, and it falls open again, and she takes it as a sign and says, like, get the bus away, you may as well go, fuck off. And that's basically how them two meet. They talk a little bit, they look over the town, look over the lake. You know, it's Silent Hill, they're looking down. She just happens to mention there's a path over there that you can walk down. It just comes out of nowhere. So, there's a path over there that you can go down it. Okay, well, thanks. Then it goes back in, and it goes to where he's drinking. And obviously, at this point, you find out she's died, and she's been dead for months, because he's on the phone with a psychiatrist that keeps missing the appointments. He gets thrown out of a club. I think that's when he gets the phone call with the psychiatrist. But he goes home, all drunk and sorry for himself. He sees a note on the floor, picks it up. It's a letter from Mary, who's dead, saying that they need to go back to where, to their place, which is Silent Hill. So, jump forward a little bit. He drives along the road, obviously it's all pissing down and stuff like that. He comes to the grated tunnel next to the toilets. You know the tunnel in the game where it's all blocked off? He comes there, he parks up, goes into the toilets. Well, actually he goes to sleep, then when he wakes up it's all Silent Hilly. And then he goes into the toilets, he does the whole thing in the mirror, you know. He comes out, he goes down the stairs and heads off to Silent Hill. But he goes through the forest, nothing happens in the forest, and then all of a sudden he's walking up to some gates, and that's where you first meet Angela. She comes over and picks up a bag and goes, pick up a bag, and then she walks off, and it's just like, okay, who the fuck are you? She's making a sandbag type thing for the flood that's happening with the lake, or whatever the hell it is. There's a flood there, and she's putting sandbags there, so I'm assuming it's a fucking flood. Flood? What the hell's a flood? A flood. She does her whole stick of blah 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 blah. If you don't find that, come and find me. So he goes, alright then, and fucks off. He walks into the town, there's basically just looks like snow, but it's all ash. The whole place is different. He just walks around going, huh. He sees everything like broken down. He shouts for people. You see the streets blocked off. You don't see a road. No, that's in the first game. The road's broken up in the first. Is the road broken up in the second game, or is it just the boards? I can't remember. I think it may just be the boards up there in the streets. He goes there. Oh, what's the place called? Havens Club or something like that. I can't actually remember the name of the bar that they go in, the club. But he goes there. It has the flashback of her and all the friends of the town. They get a little bit of nattering. They do look a little bit. They look a little bit odd in that scene. Like there's something off with them. Spoiler again. They are. But he comes out. He hears music, so he goes towards the music. And in the game, you go into a little tunnel. I think you get your first weapon, that's where you first see the monster in the game, and you attack it. Well, he goes in, you see something in a blanket, and you hear the radio on the barrel there. He'll go over, he'll go, hello? Are you alright? And then he turns around, you're expecting the monster, it's just a homeless guy. Blah blah blah, and everyone's ill or whatever. He runs away, well, the main, James runs away, the homeless guy, he stays. And that's where he actually... I'm crap at reviews, right? My brain goes all over the place, so you have to bear with me. That's where he goes into the Haven Club, and then when he's in there, he's doing the whole flashback shit. That's where you first see the monster, not in the club, but you see the monster going towards the homeless guy, and then he's in the club. He is screaming. He goes running, bounding over. What the hell? He sees the bloke on the floor, and he's basically melting. And then he hears the radio going that shit again. He turns around. Who's there? And there's the monster that comes towards him, and he picks up a pipe. You know, the trusty old pipe in Silent Hill games. Picks up that, and it's coming towards him. It opens its chest and spits out the goop, and it starts melting everything. So obviously the guy's been hit with the goop, and it melts all over. I'm not sure how he wasn't dead originally, because he was just sleeping in a bloody tunnel. And once he sees this one, he throws the thing at its head, it gets knocked over, and then it goes underneath a car, goes down into a sewer, and then the world starts changing, and he looks around. Oh, no, he gets on the phone, he rings his psychiatrist. Yeah. I'm finding her, and she's been dead for months, and this is like... But anyways, a lot of monsters start coming. He starts sprinting through, then you see all these little cockroach things, and starts running away from them. And he runs towards the apartment buildings, basically. He goes into apartment buildings. I'm just basically telling the whole fucking movie, yeah? But he goes in there, you can see the dress. In the game, you see the dress. With the light, he goes into a room, and there's a dress with a light behind it, and he's blinded by it. He goes on, does the whole thing. You just have flashback with the dress, and then he picks up the light. And then all of a sudden, it seemed to be, you hear someone being sick. Basically turns the corner. Nothing really ever happens. He just walks around the corner, and there's... I'm assuming it's meant to be... I've got names up on the screen, so I don't remember the names. It's meant to be Eddie. You know the fat kid? I'm assuming it's meant to be him, because it's a fat bloke being sick in the toilet, and he's saying that, oh, everyone's ill, how you not seeing, and stuff like that. But to be honest, that character didn't need to be in the movie. He made no part of it. Eddie character has got nothing to do with the movie. I know in the game, Eddie, Angela have got their own different... Because the whole thing is about guilt, and that it's their world that they're in. So what James sees, they don't see. They see a different version, I think. That's how it works, if I remember correctly. But they have like intertwined their stories, I guess. But he comes around, and he's basically only in it for like 2 minutes. James will go, what's that? And he goes, what? And he's a baby? And he goes, there's no baby here. They go looking around, and go around, and in Silent Hill 2, when you turn the corner, there's bars. And at some point you see Pyramid Head behind it. But they go to the bars, you see little Laura, the little girl, and he's trying to entice her out, and the fat bloke's going, this is a bad idea. He's trying to put his arm through, then Pyramid Head comes. She runs away, the fat guy runs away. Last time you see him. Got nothing else to do with the movie. Didn't need to be in it. didn't tell him anything apart from the towns fell ill. That was it. There's no point in them. Anyways, you see Pyramid Head, it breaks through the whole thing, he runs away, then you see a body on the floor, turns into a spider. I think it's meant to look like his wife Mary, but it's all like smooth skin, and the camera kept on focusing on its arse. I don't know why, it was focusing on its arse. He runs away, goes into the, in the game, he goes into the cupboard, and then you see Pyramid Head. The Pyramid Head and the body turns into like a spider thing. So them two fight. Pyramid Head kills it, and he walks up to the closet, opens it up, goes towards him, and the music, the starts playing, and they're both going, "Ah, me brain!" So then James turns out to be in the real world. But when he I say the real world, the Silent Hill world. When he comes out of the closet, Angela's lying on the floor with the knife. It's just like, how did you get from there to there? It's just like I say, it was scene by scene by scene. It was just like nostalgia. It just does the whole talking. She's saying, "Get away from me! Get away from me! He hurts me," and stuff like that. Yeah. Because in the game, Angela was actually getting raped by her dad, and there's actually turns out to be a boss on the bed. That's like a bed boss thing or a table. I don't know. It's something. It's got legs and. To fight the boss. In the movie, he walks away, leaves her behind. Oh, my brain's so bloody fluffed that I don't know what I'm thinking about. Oh yeah, is it the scene straight after? I think the scene straight after when you see Angela in the room with the knife and the big mirror is Laura, the little girl, who is the little girl, she's up on top of the wall. In the game it's just like from there to there, straight away. There's nothing in between. They do the whole talking thing, she jumps down, he catches her, and she's holding this weird doll thing. Turns out to be a weird baby thing. I can't remember it in the game, to be honest. But then again, I haven't played the game in a very, very, very long time. And she says something about monsters. I think she mentions Mary at that point, so he's like, "What?" And then she runs off, he follows her, and then you see the other Mary, well, I say the other Mary, you see Maria, who looks like Mary, but she's dressed all sexy and stuff like that, and then that's when them two get together and then start going around together. It's just like, okay. That's it, it's one nostalgia thing. There's like, oh yeah, I know that. It was just like, it just took all the parts that you'll recognise from the game, and put it in a movie. As I say, there's no kind of story behind it, unless you know the story kind of behind it, but they do change the story a bit. So anyways, they do that, and then he says he needs to get to the hospital. They start going towards the hospital. He has a flashback of the hospital. Maria brings him back into focus, and then they go into the hospital, and it was basically, to get in the hospital, they have a little natter in the room where he's looking for stuff. She walks off, and then when he goes to follow her, you see the nurses. The nurses are only in it for like 2 minutes. You see them, they're all, as they're walking past rooms, you can see them stand behind the corner and stuff like that. Then they walk in the room, then there's loads of them. One of them starts tapping, and they all start chasing them. They go into an elevator, and that's basically the last of the nurses. You see them all. He has a little fight with them, goes in the elevator shoots down, I believe. Is it down or up? Down. I think it's down. One of the nurses stabs her as well in the stomach. She's all, ugh, and that's he goes, he fixes her. Well, he kind of fixes her up in her room. Leaves her there. Says, "Stay there. I'll be back. I'm going to find Mary, and I'll come back for you." So he goes off. Sees Laura again. She runs into her room. He runs into her room. Laura comes from behind the door and shuts the door and says, "When you're ready, come back to us." Okay. He turns around, there's a monster thing on the ceiling, there's a bed on the ceiling. He looks up, the sheets start opening up, and there's this figure comes through, and he goes, "Mary?" And then it comes down, goes and grabs his face, and then he wakes up in hospital. He actually wakes up in Silent Hill, in the real world. His psychiatrist is there. She says that it's been dead for months. The death of Mary has really affected him. This scene lasts not that long. He's standing at the window, and then you see like a moth land on the window, then a load of moths land on the window, and it goes back to Silent Hill. So now, when he goes back, it is kind of like he's completely changed. His mindset's completely changed. He goes in and he basically knows what things are. He's not afraid anymore. He just goes in. But I say he goes back to Silent Hill, goes and see Maria. He's basically like blanking her sort of thing, and he walks off, goes to the elevator, and she's like, oh, James, wait for me, sort of thing, don't do this, and then he goes off, like his face is all like, he's determined now. Goes through the elevator, she jumps into the elevator, she's like, don't go with me, and then she jumps in the elevator, then the camera does this whole spinning shit between her and him, and then when they get off the elevator, it's like an art gallery, it's a corridor with a load of pictures, because he's a painter, so he painted a lot of Mary, and he walks through, and then there's loads of pictures of Mary, and then Maria starts saying something, and he doesn't even look behind, he goes, you're not real, and then starts with his brain. She gets stabbed through the back, through the chest by Pyramid Head, and then she's bleeding. He turns around, he's got this look on his face, and then the camera zooms in on Pyramid Head's big pyramid helmet, and it goes inside, and it's his face doing it, because the whole thing is meant to be Pyramid Head is like his guilt sort of thing. So yeah, it does that, and then the camera zooms out, and then it's a kind of a maze. My brain's went blank on that part. Is this a review or just telling you what the bloody movie was about? I guess that's what a review is. I don't know. I don't know how to do these things. Just trying something different. He goes through a door and he's on the roof. He's on is it Lakeview? Lakeview roof, because they talk about Lakeview at the beginning. Says it's the best view of the lake, and that's why it's called. And he goes, that makes a joke. Is that why they call it Lakeview? So he goes on there. Then there's a hospital bed with a body on. He's looking sad at it. And it starts floating up. It turns towards him. The sheets come off. And there's this you see her when he first grabs his head and he wakes up in the real world. You see a skinny figure, and it's actually Mary. And then she grows these big wings, but tattered wings, so it looks like moth wings. He starts having a flashback. He goes into a room, sees her sitting there. Oh no, hang on. Rewind back a second. Angela, I forgot about her. He goes to save her. He goes into a room and Angela's there. And she's sitting on the bed and she's saying, "Can you not say it?" Then she looks at him and there's like hands. She lifts up the sheets over her legs and you see hands grabbing her thighs. He grabs a hand and she gets sucked into the bed. Yeah, she gets sucked into the bed. He gets sucked in and he falls down and hits the thing. Then he wakes up. Then when he looks up, he sees like the bed. When I was talking about the Angela, the bed is like her dad. It turns out her dad like built Silent Hill or had something to do with Silent Hill or something like that, or helped build it. I don't know what it is. My brain's all fuzzed. So he goes down and he sees the bed, and it's actually Mary on the bed, and I'm guessing it's her dad abusing Mary. As I'm saying, there is no Angela in the game. In the movie, it is Mary. It's like a different. Laura is a younger version of Mary. So they basically put all the stories into one. So I'm guessing that's why Eddie isn't in it, because I mean, I'm guessing because in the movie he goes down to in the real world he follows Mary into some sewers. There's loads of them doing like sort of like it looks like a sacrifice type thing. I'm guessing it's kind of like a because he got bullied. So I wonder if it's like she's getting bullied in the town because she needs to do something that her dad always was always offering her to these group of freaks where they were like licking blood off her. I don't know. I have to play the game again to understand some stuff. That's if it's even in the game. So like I say, the characters are Mary. There's no Angela, there's no Laura, it's just Mary when she was younger, and Angela is another version of Mary. Because Maria is a version of Mary who's meant to be, because it was in the game, I'm sure it's meant to be something like you start resenting her for how she is, and Maria is how he saw her as, if that makes sense. It's like, you're this weak person now, this is the person who I want you to be. You know what, he's feeling guilty that he wants her to be like this and not this, like this person. If I'm, correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone's got this far.
No idea what I'm talking about.
So yeah, back up in the sky, he's in a hotel, he's in a hospital, Mary's there, she's ill. Her dad's been poisoned her all her life because she's had to drink this thing before they start licking the blood off her. But it's kind of poison, so he's been poisoned her all her life, and she's dying. She goes onto her bed, he goes in the bathroom, she drops something, he comes running back out, and she's saying, like, basically, help me, set me free. So in the game, he kills Mary, and that's why he's guilty. All the guilt comes from. But it's more like a sympathy killing. That's what it is in the movie as well. She puts her hand over her town with a towel, and then he kills her that way. The roof starts caving in on the hotel at this point, and then he goes to fall in, and then he starts floating, and she's using her powers to lift him up. Basically saying that she forgives him, sort of thing. He needed the forgiveness, and she forgives him. It comes back to the vision of him on top of the hospital roof, and the body is on the floor wrapped in a white cloth. He takes it down to the car, puts it in the car, and then he drives into a lake holding a hand. He drives into the lake. It sinks, then he holds the hand, and then he looks in. I think he looks into the rearview mirror. This is the bit that I was like, huh? All of a sudden, you hear a truck coming, and then you see the truck starting to come, and it turns out to be the truck at the beginning of the movie, and he swerves out of the way of it, like he did at the beginning of the movie, and then he hits the luggage, like he did at the beginning of the movie. It's basically a Final Destination type thing. He swerves out of the way, hits the luggage, she's blah blah blah. They do the whole thing, the bus comes, like, you know, he knows that's happening, or the latch is broken on your suitcase, and it's like, how do you know that? Say something else, and she says, I think he says his name, then she goes, I'm, and he goes, Mary, and he goes, how do you know that? Oh, I saw it on your suitcase. And then the bus comes, she starts doing the whole, stop, and then the suitcase breaks open, and she says, go on, fuck off. And he's just saying, oh, because he just wants to be with her again, because in the movie, he leaves her for this whole weird situation cult shit. That he leaves her in the movie. And I'm guessing he feels guilty because she got ill and that he wasn't with her. You know, they hit it off straight away again. And then, because at the beginning of the movie, they go back to Silent Hill. She saw it as a sign that she can't leave, so they go back to Silent Hill. And then he moves there, you know. But at the end, they both get in the car, and then they drive over, because she's trying to get to the next town, remember? They both get in the car, and then they drive back to the direction that he came from. So basically going, we're not going to Silent Hill, we're going back to the other town, and then that's where it leaves it. So basically, it's a Final Destination type story. Okay, I'm editing this right now, and I'm trying to explain it's like a Final Destination type thing, but it's also kind of like the Black Mirror episode, Hang the DJ. You know, that it's like they do a trial thing, and it turns out to be how what's the word? Adaptive you are to each other, I guess. Is that the word? I don't know. And it gives you a percentage of will you make it or won't you make it. But on this, it's like he made a mistake by leaving and stuff like that, and now he's come. It's given him a second chance, and then they drive away, so it gives him a second chance to not go through the whole thing in the city in Silent Hill. It gives him a chance to leave and live a life, I guess. So that's another way to put it. It's like the episode of Hang the DJ. You would have to watch Hang the DJ to understand what I'm talking about. But that's another way to see what it's like. It's like a Final Destination, Black Mirror, Hang the DJ episode.
Back to the past, me of the future. What?
At the beginning, you see the whole truck coming towards him. At the end, you see the truck coming towards him, and he swerves out of the way again. So it's kind of like a rewind of this time I'm staying with you. You know, anything happens, because he regrets leaving in the first place, and then this time it's basically when they're underwater, he holds the hand and says, "I'm never going to let go again." As I say, it's weird. They've put all the characters into Mary. This is Mary, apparently. You know, obviously we knew Maria was like a version of Mary, but Angela was Mary, and as her dad was abusing her. Eddie, no point in him, to be honest. I'm guessing because I can't remember why Eddie's actually there, but I know he used to get bullied. I can't remember what he does to feel guilty. I'm guessing this because I guess the town is kind of like this cult is kind of bullying her. I don't actually know what the ritual is. She drinks this thing and they start licking blood off her body. I don't know what that is. But all in all, it's an alright movie. If you haven't seen the game, if you know nothing about the game, it practically makes no sense. Even I've seen the game and I'm like, what? But it is a good movie. I wouldn't go to the cinema and watch it if it comes out on I don't know, if it comes out on Amazon or Netflix or, you know, somewhere, a streaming service. Give it a watch if you've played the game. If you haven't played the game, give it a watch and see what sort of take you get from it, I guess. See if you actually make sense of it. I mean, I kind of just badly told you the plot of the game, of the movie. Also, the voice acting on some characters is a bit questionable. It's a little bit questionable on some of the voice acting. For what it is, I think he did a good job. The main actor guy, don't know his name, can't be bothered to have a look. Jeremy Irvine, that's the character who plays him. Oh yeah, the fat bloke is Eddie. There's no point of him in the movie. There's literally no point of him. He does nothing. At least he's got a story in the game. He's got a story behind him. But in this, it's just basically a guy being sick in the toilet, and that's it. And he comes and he runs away. You never see him again. You don't even think about him. But anyways, that is my shitty review of. Anyways, I'll give it a kind of a. It's all right. That's my crap review. I don't know how to end it, so I'm just gonna go. If you like my take on a review, I might do some more. I don't know. I mean, I'll be very surprised if anyone watches through this one because it's just a lot of crap talk. I don't even know what I'm talking about, to be honest. This is why I don't do reviews. My brain's not good. This thing doesn't communicate with this thing, so it kind of gets muddled up here. So when I talk, it's like. Anyways. If you like this video, give that like button. If you ever take a smash that share button through the screen and subscribe on here by me. And as always, stay freaking awesome.